Stam Garden Center, your one-stop shop for spring. Transform your indoor and outdoor space with our stunning selection. Visit us today, open 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, located at 2421 Highway 92, Oskaloosa.
Contemporary Christian artist Leanna Crawford is coming to the Watch Year Opera House in Watch Year, Iowa, Saturday, June 29th at 7 p.m. Doors open up at 6 p.m. Advance tickets are $15 plus tax, $20 at the door.
Hey, it's Leanna Crawford, and I am so cheery to be coming to Watch Year, Iowa. It's going to be such a sweet night of music and praising Jesus together, and I cannot wait to see you there.
All proceeds to support the Tri-County Food Pantry, brought to you by the Watch Year Methodist Church. Ticket information can be found on the Watch Year Methodist Church Facebook page. The 4th annual Travis Greiner Memorial Tractor Ride is Saturday, June 29th. Sign up begins at 6:30 a.m. behind Greiner Crop Service, east of Keota Water Tower. Free will donation. Includes lunch and snacks along the ride. Proceeds to Area 4-H and FFA fairs. The ride leaves Keota at 7:45 and will be a 60-mile round trip. Sponsored by Southeast Iowa Tractor Association Incorporated. It's the 4th annual Travis Greiner Memorial Tractor Ride, Saturday, June 29th. And if you don't have a tractor, come and watch along the route. The Keokuk County Expo Fair Kickoff Barbecue Cook-Off is Saturday, July 13th. $100 per team, up to 4. Deadline to sign up is Friday, June 28th. Cash payout is $350 to first place per category. Meal for the public starts at 5:30 with a free will offering. Be sure to sign up by the entry deadline, June 28th. Stop at the Keokuk County Extension Office to pick up a packet. Proceeds to support the Keokuk County Expo. Sponsored by Keokuk County Farm Bureau.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the thousands listening locally and the millions listening around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to Shetland!
Yeah, it is time to Shetler. On a Tuesday morning here on Steve Shetler Media, our morning wake-up being brought to us by Stam Garden Center and Nursery. Right along Highway 92 East Oskaloosa, experience the color Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., closed on Sundays. We thank Stam Garden Center and Nursery for sponsoring our morning wake-up here on Steve Shetler Media. Broadcasting live from the Oski Dental Studios. Schedule your appointment with Dr. Schuster or Dr. Drawn at 641-673-4845. They're accepting new patients. They're going to file your insurance forms for you. They're a Delta Dental provider, and you can find them at 902 South 17th Street, Oskaloosa. The Oski Dental Studios during the Stam Garden Center and Nursery morning wake-up. Let's take a look at our forecast. It is another hot one today. Our weather brought to us by the Garden Gate at 105 South Jefferson, Sigourney, 641-622-3191. Heat advisory for today. It's hot until 8 p.m. tonight. Keep that in mind. Mostly sunny today, breezy, and a high of 92 degrees. For tonight, a 40% chance of showers and storms late. Clear skies, low of 72, breezy south winds. Showers and maybe a thunderstorm tomorrow. Partly sunny, a little bit cooler, a high of 86. Tomorrow night, a slight chance of some lingering showers and storms. cloudy and 68, and then Thursday, a 40% chance of showers and storms, sunny and 89. Right now, we do have current conditions, humidity at 87%, winds are south at about 15 miles per hour, the barometer at 29.82, and 73 degrees currently in southeast Iowa. Again, a heat advisory remains in effect until 8 p.m. Peak afternoon heat index between 95 to 100. That is for our viewing and listening area here for Steve Shetler Media. Hot temps and humid conditions could cause heat illnesses. You are advised to drink plenty of fluids, stay in an air-conditioned room if you can, stay out of the sun, check up on relatives and neighbors, and also they say take extra precautions when outside, wear lightweight and loose-fitting clothing, try to limit strenuous activities to early morning or evening, and take action when you see symptoms of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. So just stuff to keep in mind. Just be smart with the heat today. Heat advisory till 8 p.m. this evening. Earlier this morning, we put up our This or That, and it is brought to us by Stacy Flynn at the Legacy Insurance Group and Welcome Realty in Sigourney. This or that, this is recent history, that or ancient is ancient history. So this or that, which one would you choose? I'm not sure if we're talking about studying these things or actually going back to these things. Recent history or ancient history. If it's going back, I think I'm going to stay recent, even though it shows the COVID-19 thing there. Can we change history? Do we go back in time? If we're going back in time, if we're going to play that route, do we get to go back in history knowing what we know now? Because, the whole... that COVID-19 thing there, that's kind of sticking out to me right now. So recent or ancient history, this or that. Coming up later on today, we'll put up our question of the day on Steve Shetler Media Facebook. That goes up at noon. Brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa at 202 North Main in Sigourney. And our question for today... this is something that my family was talking about here recently, over the weekend especially. What's a word or words that your parents mispronounced or just made up? Do your parents, or maybe your grandparents or somebody in your family, do they have a way of phrasing things that it just didn't make sense? They mispronounce things, or of course, I think a lot of people will say warsh, warsh rag, Washington, a washcloth. There's no R in wash. You know what I'm saying? Wash. Are you going to wash something, or are you going to wash something? You going to go over to Washington, or are you going to go over to Washington? Or, not to give away all the family secrets, for some reason on my mom's side, and if any of my mom's family is watching, you'll understand. When it was time to clean up after you had eaten a family meal, or if you sat at the dinner table and you're ready to clean things up, for some reason, mom's side of the family always said it was time to red up. To red up. That meant it was time to clean up the table. Or, clean up after the meal. I have no idea where that came from. Red up. It's time to red up. And I just grew up knowing what that meant. And I hit a certain age, and I'm like, what does that mean? Nobody else says that outside of our family. So anyway, that'll be our question of the day. I don't know what kind of response we'll get on that, but I just had to see if it was just my family or maybe other people as well. Let's see here. What is next? Hey, do want to tell you, we did put out our weekly top 20 yesterday. Look who's back at number 1. Bruce. Our number 1 most engaged fan from this past week is Bruce Hahn. looking good in his cowboy hat there. Bruce Hahn, he's a former number one. He's been number one before, a time or two. So Bruce Hahn back at number one. I tell you what, there were some high scores. I don't know if you have the ability to enlarge your image there, but both Bruce Hahn and Bruce Beinhardt Jr. had over 2,000 points as far as Facebook scoring goes. So the Bruces, Bruce Hahn, Bruce Beinhardt Jr., both scoring big. Dan Adams, he had a nice point total, as did Alan Sellers and Chad Heistoffer, the top five. So yeah, Battle of the Bruces. Bruce Hahn came out on top. Congratulations to you, Bruce. Bruce is number one. Coming up tonight here on Steve Shetler Media, going to be going to Smoky Row. Why did my graphic and my image look like that? It screwed up the name. I'm going to have to go redo that. Tonight's guest is Dustin Griffith. You can't really see that because it cuts off the name for some weird reason. Tuesday night tune-up at Smoky Row in Oskaloosa. That's every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. through August 13th. Your host is Safe Grafke. Safe will be there tonight. Dustin Griffiths will be there tonight. Maybe Neil will be there tonight. Maybe Curtis Vanderwall. I don't know who else will show up, but that's tonight. TNT Tuesday night tune-up will get you ready for the racing week ahead at Smoky Row in Oskaloosa. Keep in mind, we're also doing a ticket giveaway on Steve Shetler Media for the Southern Iowa Speedway, a 4-pack of tickets, good for a regular season race. So make sure you scroll back to last night, like and share that post, and get in on that ticket giveaway. So the TNT Tuesday night tune-up coming up tonight. Coming up later on this week, we'll go to Barnwired in Sigourney on Friday. A new guy, his name is Ryan Lombard, coming to Sigourney, Barnwired, 11:30 to noon on Friday. Tune in for that. Saturday, we'll have the sports section from Brothers Market in Sigourney. We'll be talking Sigourney Junior High softball with Coach Josh Clubb on the show. Make sure you tune in for that, 8 a.m. on Saturday mornings. Also last evening, let's put up this. We've got our current matchup going on for the Fun of It tournament. 90s Country Superstar is our topic, sponsored by Son-in-Law Services. Again, we just talked about Josh Clubb being on the sports section this Saturday morning. Josh is the handyman with the plan with Son-in-Law Services. He can help you out, 319-431-1806, Son-in-Law Services, sponsoring our tournament. And our current matchup going on right now, Alan Jackson and Toby Keith. Let's take a look at the brackets. So far, George Strait, Reba, and Garth. That is a hefty top three in your final four so far. The winner of Alan Jackson, Toby Keith, will take up that final spot in the final four and will be facing Reba. So that's a good final four. And Alan Jackson right now has the lead. It is very competitive between Alan and Toby. It's a thumbs up for Alan. It's a heart for Toby. So get your votes in. Again, scroll back through your timeline on your news feed. Find that matchup. Give the thumbs up for Alan, the heart for Toby. Right now, last check, Alan Jackson was ahead. So that could definitely change by the time this matchup is over at 6 p.m. At 6 o'clock then, George and Garth will be going at it in the final four. So fun tournament for the Fun of It tournament. 90s Country Superstar, sponsored by Son-in-Law Services. Am I missing anything else? Yesterday, I totally spaced off doing some birthdays. We're going to get to the birthdays here in just a second. But first, let's take a look at some community calendar events. Some stuff going on in our area. Bark Rangers has their kickoff event coming up on Saturday, June 29th, 10:30 p.m., is what that says. Is that right? PM? Might be AM. I don't know. We'll have to check with Laura to cook on that. At the Environmental Learning Center in Oskaloosa, bring your dog and learn about this park program and tips on hiking with your dog outdoors. That should be pretty interesting. Other stuff on our community calendar stuff. Let's see here. Walmart going to be having an event where you can spark good, change kids' health. And that goes on June 10th through July 7th. The Children's Miracle Network Hospital is putting this on. That's going on there at your Oskaloosa Walmart. And then also on our calendar, something to keep in mind from one of our sponsors, Grand Ranch. Wednesdays is build your own burger for $6. Served with fries, potato salad, or slaw. Dine in only at Grand Ranch on Wednesdays. So some different things going on there. Let's go ahead and do those birthdays. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. In some birthdays, celebrity and hometown birthdays brought to us by Hometown Real Estate. Nikki Leathers, the broker, owner, and realtor. Go to hometown-re.com. And hometown birthdays, we'll start with those. Brought to us, again, by Hometown Real Estate. Local and area birthdays, hometown birthdays. That includes Janet Hicks having a birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Karen Griner with a birthday today. Happy birthday to you. We've got, how do you say their last name? Tim Harned? Is that how you say that? Harned? Walker Harned? And Denise Whitlatch, a very active person on Steve Shetler Media. So happy birthday to Denise, Walker, Tim, Karen, and Janet. Some hometown birthdays for today. On the celebrity side, we've got basketball's Del Harris turning 87 years old. I'd say the big one today is Paul McCartney. 82 for Paul. Former member of the Beatles, of course, Paul McCartney, 82. Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses is 61. As is Bruce Smith. That guy was a terror on the football field, especially for the Bills. 61 for Bruce Smith. From baseball, Sandy Alomar Jr. Country music's Blake Shelton, 48 years old. Also, of course, with that long stay on The Voice. Blake Shelton, a household name now, 48 years old. And back to football we go with Antonio Gates, great tight end, 44 years old. Those are your celebrity and hometown birthdays. By the way, I think I totally blew off the birthdays yesterday. My apologies. My Aunt Laura Renner had a birthday yesterday, so belated birthday wishes to Laura. Those are your celebrity and hometown birthdays brought to us by Hometown Real Estate. Hey, a good morning to you. We are doing the morning wake up. It is brought to us by Stam Garden Center and Nursery. Let's get to the good mornings. Bubby, good morning to you. Dan, Sherry, Sandy, Cindy, Colleen. I know there's more of you out there. Sherry, how do you get so many points as far as the top 20, the weekly top 20? Bruce with over 2,000 points. I think the key, you could, because Sherry, I know, and a lot of you that are watching right now are very active. You hit that like, you comment, but I think maybe where the Bruces, as you put it, got their points. I know Bruce Hahn shares a lot of my stuff. Like if I post something, Bruce is sharing, so that's probably where he's getting a lot more points than everybody else. So, yeah, like, comment, share. As far as I know, those are the ways to earn Facebook points. I think. I don't know for sure, but I think that's the way you do it. So, if you want to jump up in those rankings, like, comment, share during the week, and move up in the weekly top 20. Yeah, that's tough. That top 5, that top 10. Hard to get into, but especially that top 5 is a hard one to crack. I know Alan Sellers has also been very, very active. So Alan trying to get back into that number 1 spot, I can tell. Let's do on this date in history. Again, today is June 18th. On this date in history, 1778, American forces entering Philadelphia as the British withdrew during the Revolutionary War, 1778. On this date, in 1812, the War of 1812 began. Did they call it when it was happening back in 1812? Did they declare it the War of 1812, or did they just name it afterwards? I don't know. It was also on this date, 1815, Napoleon was defeated at Waterloo. Not Waterloo, Iowa. Don't get confused. On this date, 1873, Susan B. Anthony was fined for attempting to vote in the presidential election. In 1928, we touched on this yesterday, 1928, aviator Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean in a flight from Newfoundland to Wales in 21 hours. So, Amelia Earhart. Today, on the daily calendar, today is International Picnic Day. Today is also International Panic Day. Why would you have a day where you celebrate panicking? I don't know. It's International Sushi Day. It's Go Fishing Day, if you don't mind the heat. It's National Splurge Day, and it's National Flip-Flop Day. So if you got the flip-flops, make sure you wear those today. Good morning to you, Sherry. Good morning to everybody watching. Before we go any further, let's hear from our sponsors, and that includes our headliners, Stam Garden Center and Nursery.
Stam Garden Center, your one-stop shop for spring. Transform your indoor and outdoor space with our stunning selection. Visit us today, open 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, located at 2421 Highway 92, Oskaloosa.
If you like red, white, and blue from Tassel Ridge Winery, but prefer sweet white wines, try our Star Spangled White. Star Spangled White is a sweet white wine made entirely from Edelweiss grapes grown right at the winery. It offers aromas of pineapple and hints of mandarin orange, pear, and pineapple on the palate. Chill a bottle of Star Spangled White and sip it while you watch the sunset. While Star Spangled White is an excellent sipping wine, it can also be used as an important ingredient in Star Spangled White cake. Check the QR code for the recipe. Tassel Ridge Star Spangled White wine is available at about 400 retail outlets located all over Iowa. Look for the displays of Tassel Ridge wines where you shop. If the store doesn't offer Star Spangled White, ask the manager to get it for you. Tassel Ridge Winery is located in Lighton on Highway 163 between Pella and Oskaloosa and is open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday from 9 to 6, Saturday from 10 to 6, and Sunday from noon to 6. Check out our website at tasselridge.com.
Stam Garden Center, your one.
Hey
If you
there.
like red, white, and blue from Tassel Ridge Winery, but prefer
Things are going crazy here on Steve Shetler Media. A good morning to you. Let me set a few things back. There we go. We are doing the morning wake up. It's brought to us by Stam Garden Center and Nursery. We are live from the Oski Dental Studios. Let's do some things you need to know. Come on. Woo-hoo. Things you need to know. Are you familiar with the game, is it Catan? Catan? I know Pastor Aaron Fleming, who does Real Talk with me on Mondays, is a fan of this game. However you say it, a game about collecting and using resources such as bricks and lumber, is turning 30 next year. Now, to celebrate, they're releasing a new edition called Catan New Energies. And instead of being set in pre-industrial times, New Energies is set in the 21st century with real elements such as power plants and pollution playing a major role. So if you're a fan of that game, Catan, however you say it, a new one coming out next year. Other stuff you need to know before joining G7 world leaders gathered in Italy. The Pope started out last Friday by meeting with over 100 comedians from 15 countries to talk with them because, quote, we have so much more to learn from you. Okay. Among the list talking to the Pope was, oh boy, Whoopi Goldberg, Jimmy Fallon, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Chris Rock, Stephen Colbert, Conan O'Brien, and Jim Gaffigan. I mean, I like Jim Gaffigan on that list. He's super funny. The rest, Last week in Scotland, the Edinburgh City Council voted to ban fossil fuel advertisements on city property, undermining the ability of not only oil companies, but also car manufacturers, airlines, and cruise ships. It is to promote their products. So again, Scotland banning fossil fuel advertisements. Okie dokie. How about Scooter Braun from the world of entertainment? Scooter Braun has announced his retirement from music management after doing that for 23 years. The entrepreneur, who's managed the likes of Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, and others, will remain CEO of the entertainment company Hybe, Hybe. I think that's how you say that. Hybe America. So Scooter Braun making some waves there. Other stuff. Stellantis, the company that makes Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, and other vehicles, announced that they are phasing out the use of chrome on all of its new models. So no more chrome for the likes of Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and others. How about this? Things you need to know. This sounds like a good thing. The rules for the first presidential debate between President Biden and former President Trump a week from Thursday, they're going to have red lights visible to the candidates that will flash when they have 5 seconds left. So basically, they'll have 5 seconds to wrap up what they're saying and be done. It'll turn a solid red when time has expired, and each man's microphone will be muted when it's not his turn to speak, so there will be no interrupting. So I'd say those are some great rules for the upcoming presidential debate. Other stuff you need to know: at a recent concert in Vancouver, British Columbia, Pearl Jam's Mike McCready was in the middle of a